Sopa in the Samburu dialect is welcome.
Go ahead.
We stopped here for lunch on our way from Nairobi to Samburu and Buffalo Springs National Parks. He's going to demonstrate how water swirls north and south of the equator. Is it true, or is he pulling my leg? Watch very closely how he walks in front of me. I never get to walk beside him.
Okay.
And right on the equator, no rotation. 20 meters the minimum distance. You can notice any rotation.
Okay.
So let's start north 20
Okay.
meters. So this 20 meters mark, I start by 20 the water. As the water goes down, this is the direction here. You can go south of equator 20 meters and see the difference. So once again 20 meters mark, southern end.
Yeah, counterclockwise.
And for me, if I just try, this can be counterclockwise, like you'll see northern hemisphere. I see the time is still like that. Well, for the world, southern hemisphere the same. No rotation. Just the water goes
Here
down.
he's telling me the laws of physics, why this is the water swirls like it does.
Follow them. Okay.
Now he's facing me, showing how he pours the water. And this guy is very smooth.
You just see when the wind blows the indicators different direction. Now let's
Was I right that I thought he was pulling my leg, or was this actually true? We're right on the equator here, so supposedly there is no rotation of the water here from the Earth's spin. All along the road there were shops like this where they were carving exotic woods. Some of the statues were like 5 foot tall. Exquisite work.
Yeah, the wood is thick. He is carving a Maasai. Also, he is carving a giraffe.
My first animal sightings here at Samburu was a impala with his harem of females. This is a secretary bird. They are great snake hunters, much like the road runner that we have in the southwest. There are 2 types of giraffe. This is a Somalian. Their skin pattern is darker and a little different than ones found further south. I could not believe how windy and dusty it was. The dust was like talcum powder. This Cape buffalo, by curling his lip like this, is using a special organ called phlegm. It is used to detect whether the cows are in season or not. This is a dik-dik. This is the smallest antelope and is the favorite prey of the leopard. These are vervet monkeys. They have a distinct bluish hue to their rear ends, especially the males. In camp you had to make sure your tent was closed tightly and watch out for what they were doing because they were quite mischievous. This is where Elsa the lioness from Born Free was released. So these may well be some of her descendants. Here is an impala fawn with its mother. Usually the fawn lays in the grass so that it won't be seen by predators. It's unusual for them to walk around like this. This is a gerenek. It's a browser. And that was one of the tourist buses roaring by, stirring up all kinds of dust. It's amazing how they can get in between the thorns on this acacia tree to get the small leaves that are there. But they sure can do it. This is the oryx. It's the second largest of the grazers, only slightly smaller than the eland. These cheetahs are sitting atop of a rock that's about 50 foot high. When I drove around on the other side, there was a sign saying that this was Leopard Rock. Evidently the cheetahs can't read, or they had delusions of grandeur. When you see two cheetahs essentially the same size together, it's usually males, as females stay away only with their cubs. This big old bull elephant was my first sighting in Samburu. These are Thompson's gazelles. They're much smaller than the impala. That's not haze in the background, that's dust.
Baby in there too.
As you can see, the grass is quite brown, so imagine the elephants were having a tough time finding food. I didn't know it, but at the time they were going through a drought here, a very severe one. This is a riverbed that they are crossing now. Back at base camp, the Samburu told me that if an elephant charges, you run uphill or downhill. Now I see why they told me that. I was surprised to see this baboon who was all by himself. There was no troop with him. There are two types of zebras in Africa. This is a Somalian zebra. The pattern of the stripes is different than the average zebra further south. These are dwarf mongoose. There's 3 adults and a whole horde of little ones there.
These are young.
Yeah.
These are young. The mothers are not there.
Here's the great hornbill of Africa. Evidently he didn't like me taking his picture because he ran over into the brush there to hide. We stopped because we thought there was something wrong with this elephant. Evidently we were the cause of its concern. It's getting ready to charge us. Here it comes. Rather close.
I think he wants us to go.
This one also decided it didn't want us here. The impala is marking his territory with glands on his cheek. This is where I camped. The tent under the tree just in the middle of the screen right now is my tent.
My tent.
The baboons got into it.
tonight.
They got into my medications. And the only thing they took was the anti-diarrheal medicine. Must have had a problem with the fruit. Don't know what it is, but we seem to have a knack of attracting charging cows.
Yeah. Show us who's boss, yeah.
These are the Samburu women performing their welcoming song. The bush structure you see in the background is called a boma. They construct that so that they can bring the cattle into the village each night to protect them from the wild animals. Their economy is based totally on cattle, like the Maasai. Again, sopa is Samburu for welcome. They are very tall, graceful people and live the same way as the Maasai, where their cattle are their most prized possession.
We had to stand here until each woman had come up and said sopa to me. Otherwise it would have been an insult.